Salutations, one and all, and welcome to the Drop Dead Gorgeous Gallery. I am your host, the Sinister One, Murky Monday, and allow me to be your guide as we present our newest exhibit, Sade. Yeah. You can't get no smoother. You can't get no lovelier. The voice that just carries you into other realms with the deepness and the delivery and the heartfelt, just the vocals. Oh my gosh. And I don't know if you really know this or not, but Sade is a band of 4 people, kind of like Blondie is a band. Yeah, Sade is a band. This young lady's name is Helen. And I'm not even going to try to go into pronouncing her half African name. I'll stick with the half English name, Helen. But Sade is what everybody has always called her. That is who she is known as. And I'm sure that if you were to scream Sade, she would turn around and look at you. And if you were to say Helen, she'd keep it pushing. You know what I mean? I clicked into her in the 80s in her second album, when her second album dropped. I heard, the first album. Everybody heard the first album, but I didn't really buy it. I didn't buy Sade till the second album. When the second album dropped, that was it. That was it. Sade, for me, that's where my love affair for this woman from afar began, and I have loved her from afar ever since. To be quite honest with you, I'm not one for the British accent. To me, it seems, I'm not going to say that it seems boring. That's weird to say. But to me, the British accent just seems British. You know what I mean? It's like you got to put mustard on a hot dog. It's like it's just, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So it doesn't appeal to me as a accent. No more than any other accent appeals to me. And so it's not that. But when she speaks, man, the way she talks, it pulls you in. The way her accent rings from her lips, those gigantic, luscious lips, that it even makes you want to listen to the British accent. It's weird for me, but then she is stunning. I mean, she can make a blind man see a beautiful person. I mean, she is just gorgeous. There's no other word for it. She is gorgeous. And just, with that, and then she's just like a really true person. All of her music, every one of her songs, on some level or another, can touch you at any point in time. I don't know anybody who doesn't like a Sade song. I just don't know that's the case. I think that should be a psychopath test to see whether or not there's a Sade song that touches the motherfucker. If they ain't got one Sade song that can touch them, then you should probably, find a place for them and lock them up, keep some eye on, because you can't be a normal human being, I think, with some sort of real level of emotion and not have a Sade song in the back of your repertoire that could almost bring you to tears, even. Like, I listen to some of her music and it takes me instantly back to a time, I remember just the Sade. Yeah. Well, for me, it was one of those things where, you know, when it came time to look for a picture, there's lots of beautiful pictures of her. And I chose this particular picture because, first of all, it was already black and white. So I figured that, you know, that's going to lend itself to what I'm already doing in black and white. I'm not going to have to try and, you know, figure out tones and stuff like that. It's already kind of laid out there for me. But this was the picture that I came across first. And again, not having bought the first album, I didn't know that this was the cover of the first album. The first album is Diamond Life, right? And this is the photograph from the cover. In it, you also see her hands. You know, like she has her hands in a hand in the picture, but it's not in this picture. This is the picture that I got. So this is the picture that I was gonna work with, and I didn't know that it was the album cover. And as you can see, the top part of her head is cropped. And so I was in the mindset, well, you know, I'm gonna have to invent what exists beyond the sight of this photograph. And so in doing that, you know, I'm gonna have to invent her hair, invent the top of her forehead out of my own imagination, knowing that, you know, she's got long hair, and knowing that Sade has a famously large forehead. I guess that's why I said the way I you know, had that little slip there, because I'm about ready to talk about her dome. Sade has a huge dome. So I figured as long as I kept to making sure that I was in the parameters for the size of dome, and to keep in line with, you know, her having long hair, that, you know, I could pretty much imagine what it looks like, and that's what I did. And in that, in this picture, she's wearing, you know, tiny little hoop earrings. So they're not even hoops, because they go around her earlobe, but there's like no air between the jewelry and her ear. It's such a small little ring. And in my head, I was like, well, I'm just going to eliminate that and put a diamond, because, I mean, if nothing else, I'm put something little, might as well put a diamond. Not knowing that this was the album cover for Diamond Life, right? But, you know, that was what my first thought was, because, you know, that, you know, I want to try and do something with this picture. So in the process of painting it and going on with it and doing the things that I'm doing, you know, my wife comes out and she sits down and she's looking at me and looking at the painting, and she says, you know what would be cool? Yeah, you're gonna put the hoop earrings, and I was like, well, you know, I hadn't thought of it. The picture doesn't have hoop earrings, but, you know, that's the thing, is that Sade is known for the gigantic hoop earrings, which are not in this picture. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see how it goes along. As I get closer to the point where I would need to put the earrings in, I'll make a decision. And, you know, spoiler alert, I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put giant hoop earrings on this picture. And so basically, I'm telling you all of this to say this. Much in a very jazzy sense that Sade's music presents, I decided to do some sort of improvisation. I decided to make some things up and do some things that were different from the picture, to stray purposely from, you know, what I'm looking at, and to make my own painting, even though she's not wearing the hoop earrings, to put the hoop earrings, that even though she doesn't have the top to her head, paint one, so that, you know, she's not Boris Karloff, you know, in this gallery right now, you know what I mean? And so in doing that, that's what I did, you know. I've had an artistic license for a very long time, and there are times where I decided to use it, and this was one of them. As always, you know, my whole thing about doing these portraits is that ultimately it's a challenge. You know, it's a challenge for me. I know that from the start that I'm never going to paint it 100% the way I see it, right? And so really it's always trying to get myself to a point where I'm painting 100% of a painting, so that when it's done, I'm not asking you to look at that painting and not know who it is, and then need the picture to help you know who it is. You know what I mean? Like I want you to know who it is without a reference, right? I want you to walk into a room, see this hanging on the wall, and go, Sade. You know, and if I can get you to do that, then that's where I feel like, you know, I'm winning the game. That's where, you know, I feel like that's my challenge, is to get to that point. And now where anything else where I'm lacking or where I could even be better, you know, I try to hit 80%, 90%. That's my goal, is that if I can get it 80%, that 80% of the people that walk into a room and see this painting will say, this is Sade, then I'm happy with that, right? I'm happy with those numbers, right? That's how I look at it. But then the reality of it is that there are times where, you know, I might get higher numbers than that. I might get everybody who walks in there and goes, that looks just like Sade. You know, that's great. I don't consider that 100%. I'm never going to get 100%. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm trying to make 80 and hopefully something else, you know, hopefully something extra. And if I can't carry it out to hit the likeness perfectly, that hopefully my artistic skills and talents and ability take over, so that it's a beautiful painting at the end of the day, that it's that's my goal. And in this project, I have found a joy that I haven't had in a while, because I'm challenging myself, but at the same time, you know, I'm making myself happy, stretching my ability and doing things that, you know, I was really born to do, and I'm having fun doing it, you know. And the truth is that I would love to paint you, because it isn't really that I can paint something and 100 people walk in the room and say, oh, look, Sade. What I would love to do is I would love to have the people that know you walk into the room and see the painting of you and be like, look, that's them. That's the everyday legend that means the most. That's the one that I want to paint. You. So my number pops up here and there. My number's there. You got a way to contact me. Contact me. Let me paint you. Let me paint you. But thanks for watching. I hope you can see that I tried my best to be a smooth operator. I hope I didn't mess it up too bad. If I did, is it a crime? Is it a crime? I thank you, because, you know, for all those that y'all love me, man, y'all's love is king. Hell yeah. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Sade. Whew. Good gracious, this girl could sing. Pretty easy on the eyes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Yeah, let me tell you what. Here's the thing. I feel like everybody should get their portrait done by me. You know what I mean? That's part of it. I feel like everybody's gorgeous. You know, I feel like that, you know, everybody is beautiful, and ugly goes right down to the bone. I might be dumb, but I know you're beautiful.
Thank you for your visit to the Drop Dead Gorgeous Gallery. We hope you enjoyed your time while you were here. We encourage you to come back with your earliest convenience. If you would like to be a victim, an exhibit in the gallery, contact us. Thank you.